What if I tell you that the reason why you have not been sewing your garment perfectly well is because you have not been applying certain sewing techniques? Hello everyone, my name is GB Velu. I'm a fashion designer and coach. I train people how to make beautiful garments and I specialize in shirt making. Special shout out to every one of you that have been watching my videos, that have been liking, that have been sharing, that have been commenting and also subscribing. You are the reason why I'm here. Okay, let me just dive in directly into today's video. Today I'll be sharing with you 4 sewing techniques that every beginner must know for them to be able to make bespoke garments. Now, what are these 4 sewing techniques? I'll start with number 1, your ease allowance. I've seen quite a number of videos about how to take body measurements, but I rarely see any one of them that mention ease allowance. Now, what are ease allowance? They are the extra allowance or the freeness that you add into your tape roll or into a measurement when you are taking a client's measurement or you want somebody to measure you for a garment. I agree with that you don't actually need ease allowance for every garment. Yes, that is correct. You don't need to. But you must be able to determine what garment that you will need an ease allowance for. Now, if you want to sew a skin tight garment, some of those stylish garments that we see, maybe dresses, blouses, skirts, some of them they are skin tight. And what I mean by skin tight is that when you take your tape rule to do a measurement, you measure directly on the skin, which means that your tape measurement or your tape rule is lying on the body. Are you getting me? There is no ease allowance like what I'm doing now. There is no ease allowance there. For a tight fitted gown or blouse or skirt, something that you will need to breathe in and breathe before you maybe pull your zipper, then you don't need ease allowance. But if you are putting on something like a senator or any garment or any outfit that you realize that you need a bit of space in it, definitely you must add your ease allowance. That is where the ease allowance comes into play. And there are 2 types of ease allowance. One is the wearing ease. That one is majorly for comfort. You know, maybe for you to be able to move very well in the garment, or for you to be able to walk very well, or for you to be able to sit very well. You will agree with me that there are times that people put on tight garments and they have to be careful the way they sit. In fact, they have to be careful of how they walk so that the clothes they are putting on will not burst. So if you are going to make a garment that you know that you need it to be a bit free, please add your ease allowance into your measurement. You can apply it when you are taking the body measurement or probably when you are drafting the pattern, and it also reflects when you are doing the sewing. It is very, very important. The second type of ease allowance is your design ease. What that means is that there are some garments or styles that comes with ease allowance. You must apply it into the design. In fact, that is the reason why those designs exist. Examples are like, if you are going to make like a bubu or a kaftan, we all know that it is the comfort in that kind of garment, the bounce, the allowance, the freeness in it that makes the style. So in that kind of garment, you must apply ease allowance. It means that you must have enough room for ease into that kind of garment. So whenever you want to take a kaftan or any cloth that is loose fitted, make sure that you had enough ease allowance into it. When you are making your skin tight garment, you do not need ease allowance. When you are taking a client's measurement, probably for a blouse or for a dress, it's also important to ask them, how free do you want it to be? Are you getting me? When you have that kind of question, it will now help you to know the number of inches that you will have as freeness into that measurement. It is very, very important. The second one is your sewing allowance. I'm sure so many of us are familiar with sewing allowances because it is that space between the edge of the fabric and your stitches. And you know it allows for adjustment. Sometimes I warn students, when you are taking your measurement, please don't just leave it on the skin and then that is what you cut on your pattern. Whenever you are drafting pattern, ensure to add your sewing allowances. If you forget, you are not the one that will wear that cloth. Somebody that is slimmer than you is the one that is going to put it. That's just the implication, and you must know. Some people forget. Please don't forget. I'm aware that there are some people that when they are drafting their pattern, they say they don't have sewing allowance. It is when they are cutting on fabric. Please beware. I always recommend that beginners add the sewing allowance while you are drafting your pattern. Do not forget. Number 3 are your notching and centralizing, and that is the V-shape scissors cut that you make on your fabrics, especially when you are cutting. And it allows you to know probably where you are going to fix your bust dart or where you want to fold for your hem. It is very, very important. If you are going to sew accurately, you must be able to apply these simple things. It helps you to sew flawlessly and perfectly. Number 4, which is the last one, are your hemmings. And you can hem in 3 ways, either with your hand needle and thread, or with a hemming machine. Yes, there are machines that actually hem. They can hem probably the base of your trouser, the base of your skirt, the base of your gown, or it will even be your sleeve or any part of your clothes that you want to hem. You can use your hand hemming, you can use your machine hemming, you can also use your hemming gum. In fact, hemming gum is life. It is very, very handy. Instead of you laboring with your hand needle, you can easily make use of your hemming gum. Let me tell you this. Please, when you sew Iro and Buba and you are sewing the neck, you know you are going to apply a bias on the neckline of the Buba. After you have first of all sewn the bias on the neckline of the Buba, do not top stitch with the machine again. Use your needle and thread to hem round the neckline of the Buba. It is always neater and better. There are times I see people, I don't know whether I should call it laziness, then they start to sew again with the machine. It is wrong. It doesn't look nice. Please know where to apply your hem, and it actually makes your garment look very better. So it's either you are using your hand to hem, or you are using your machine to hem, or you are using the hemming gum. And let me tell you something. Those of us that used to think that hemming gum does not last, it lasts too when you apply it very well. Make sure that you apply it with a steam iron, very hot iron. So the moment you apply the heat on it, it stays and it sticks. If you do it very well, 1 year, 2 years, you are still using that garment and it doesn't relax, it doesn't remove. Probably with many more years, probably after 2 years, they start releasing. But before then, if you do it very well, I'm sure it will last for you. So you have come to the end of this video. I'm sure you have learned one thing or the other from this video again. Could you please like, share and comment? I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.